What's up everyone, my name is Luca Tadini. Welcome to another video here on my channel. This morning I woke up thinking, how can I help filmmakers out there to improve their career? So today I'm going to give you 10 tips on how to improve your career as a filmmaker. Well, first things first, understanding how your camera works is very important, is somewhat vital. However, after all these years being a professional filmmaker, I would suggest you to care first for two main things in my opinion. First is sound and the other one is lighting. No one wants to watch a film with bad audio or bad lit. So make sure you understand about these two things after you get to know your camera. Sound, lighting, that's pretty important. Second tip is never stop learning. What I mean by that is watch films online, either your favorite filmmakers, your favorite YouTubers, take courses, short courses in film school, or perhaps join a degree course or film school. Obviously practice a lot with the equipment that you have. If you've got your phone or if you've got a small camera, make sure that you practice and understand your camera. And all this combined should help you get there, to get the job that you are after. One thing that I have to point out though, and I'm guilty of that as well, is do watch other filmmakers, their films, but don't get put off by them. The reason that I'm saying this is because these guys are paid big money to be there. So they have their latest gear, they have all the travels and everything that to us sounds really interesting, and we don't really get ourselves motivated because we say, oh, I don't live in an interesting place, or I don't do interesting things. Trust me, you do. Start with small things. Maybe go to your backyard and do something. Maybe play with your pet and just film some slow motion shots or some close-ups and play with your lenses, or just make sure that you don't overdo, you don't overwatch these guys, because the most important thing for you is your films. If you're feeling that you're getting a bit demotivated and, I don't know, not feeling well to make that film, or just because you don't have that gear, you think that you can't do it, do it. You can do it. Stop watching them. As soon as you notice this, stop watching them and get out there and film, practice, and make your own films. But make sure that you don't stop learning. By making your own films, you won't stop learning. You're going to be testing things. So that's it. Get out there and film. Third tip for me is keep it simple. I know that you see all those crazy good drone shots or perhaps a really cool transition and you don't know how to do them. That goes with the learning bit. You study, you learn, and then you apply to your work. But also it's important for you, especially in the beginning, to keep your films simple. Don't complicate things. You don't need that. Learn from the beginning, step by step, what exactly are the fundamentals, and then gradually you can improve your films. But make sure you keep it simple in the beginning. The fourth one is do take time for personal projects. And the reason that I'm saying this is because you might get a job in a production company and you're feeling all hyped up and all happy that you now have you're a filmmaker, you're working for someone, but then you end up not shooting interesting projects. And no one really wants to shoot something that they don't find interesting. But sometimes it's life. I don't know, maybe you're a wedding videographer or events videographer and you're not really interested in those things, but you do have spare time, maybe over the weekend, or maybe you have your day off on a Wednesday or something. Just plan something, write whatever you're interested in. Get your camera and shoot a personal project. Perhaps you're on holiday next month, or your parents own a house in the countryside, or maybe your friend is a skateboarder and you'd like to film something with him, or maybe you're interested in cars, and then you can film something related to cars. I don't know, it depends on what you're interested in, but make sure that you do take the time for personal projects, because they are the ones that will make your career take off. And along with that, the fifth tip is always choose subjects that you are interested in. I know that for your main job, you might not be able to choose what you're shooting, but you can choose your own subjects. You can choose your own genre in a way. So if you like short films, I don't know, gather with some friends and make a short film. If you're interested in drone shots, maybe save up a little every month and then buy a drone, and then you can perhaps start filming with your drone or whatever you're interested in. I would suggest you to always choose something to keep the passion going. The flame is really important. The sixth tip that I have is deadlines. Make sure you keep your work always going. I know that sometimes you have a month to finish a video and you're like, oh, I can finish that video in 2 days. And then you leave for the last week of the month and then you just literally don't have time because you have to take your pet to the vet, or you have to go to the doctors, or whatever reason you may have that will get in the way for you to not finish that film. So make sure you always keep to the deadline time. If you can, maybe deliver it before. Make sure that you don't deliver in 2 days though, because then they will think that your job is easy. And the fact that you worked really hard and now know what you're doing doesn't mean that it's easy. It just means that you're a good editor or filmmaker. We're good with that, aren't we? But make sure you keep to the timing. You don't want a client maybe giving you a bad review just because you didn't keep with the timing. You don't need that client to give you a bad review on maybe your website or Facebook page or whatever, just because you did not keep with the timing. So make sure you always follow correctly those times and don't delay that deliver because you can do it. Yes, we can. The seventh one is be persistent. 10 out of 9 times you hear no. Did you get confused by that? 10 out of 9? How is that possible? Yeah, that's right, because one of the clients might say no twice. So be persistent. Make sure you work on your show reel, do personal project, tell those really good stories that I know that you can do. And who knows, maybe a competitor of that first business that you called will give you a call and say, yo, do you want to film something for me? And you're like, hell yeah, of course I want. So, make sure that you are always persistent. I don't know, call 20, 30, 50, 200 business and just ask them, maybe if it's something that you believe in, you might do it for free, but just because they look really cool and you like it, you believe in their product, you do something, and then that is a massive boost on your show reel. So yeah, make sure that you are persistent. And by being persistent, you might get loads of work and you're gonna be balling. That's what you want. The 8th one is always prioritize storytelling. Right. I know that gear is important. I know that you want to shoot 4K. I know that you want to have that crazy expensive lens. But wait a minute. The reason that I'm saying prioritize storytelling is because let's say, right, tomorrow you have 2 companies, either Ari or Red, and they say, right, you won a competition. We're going to give you for a week this crazy 50 grand setup. Right. Okay, now you have the gear. But you never prioritized storytelling because you thought that the gear was the problem. Now you have the gear. What are you going to do? What's the story that you're going to tell? If you don't prioritize story, even if you have crazy good equipment, you're not going to be able to tell a good story. So there are many people out there who buy crazy expensive equipment and they're still stuck with a story. They can't tell good story because they have good equipment. So make sure you focus on storytelling. Read books, write different things, write again, read more books, watch other films, and see how they prioritize the story. This is very important, especially in the beginning, so you don't get caught up in the gear trap, which I think everyone has done in the past, but trust me, story is the story. Does that make sense? What's the story? The 9th tip is be kind to people and always have a positive attitude. No matter what the job is, I know that you may have filmed 200 weddings already and you're just like, oh my God, this is just another one. But I think being positive and kind will give you back kindness and positivity. And I know that may sound a little meh, but it's true. Make sure that you're always positive and kind and keep networking no matter what. Go to exhibitions, art exhibitions. That's where directors are or writers or, they trust me, they go there. Go to meetups. Maybe a director in your city is organizing something, or maybe a producer, or I don't know, maybe you can actually organize something. Meetups are really important as well because you're gonna have interesting people there. Maybe you can collaborate with them. Go to short film competitions. There's usually loads of people there looking for other people. Maybe, I don't know, you can find an actor for your next film, or maybe you can find a producer. So keep networking. Go to places where other people with the same interests go, and I'm sure you are going to make new friends and find more work as well, which is again what we want. And you're gonna be balling. The 10th and last tip for this video is... Sorry, my mustache was in the way. Have your work online and up to date. Whatever platform you choose, your website, Facebook, Instagram, Vimeo, YouTube, a blog, whatever. Have it online and up to date. And make sure that the work that you put out there is the work that you want to be known for. If you are not happy with it, just don't publish. I know that sometimes it may take a month or 2 months or 6 months or a year to finish a job, but if you're not happy with the final result, just don't do it. Just don't put out there. Don't put it online because it doesn't make sense. You don't want to be known by a job that you're not happy with. And obviously make sure that you always share with your friends, share with groups on Facebook and on your Instagram, and make it interesting with, I don't know, behind the scenes shots, so then you can publish on your Instagram and boost your Instagram. I know that you want those likes. So yeah, just, you know, be creative on top of being creative, and the creativity will be around you. So put online, ask for feedback. Lots of people might criticize you and say, oh my God, this is rubbish, or this is whatever, I don't like it, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, even Jesus didn't please everyone, so who cares? Make sure that you read the constructive feedbacks. The constructive criticism is really good. So maybe ask for opinions. I know that great filmmaker that have, I don't know, that has, I don't know, 1 billion followers won't reply to you. But look for your community. If you're part of groups, just post it there and ask for feedback. Some people might give you a hard time, but I know that there are many, many filmmakers out there willing to help a friend and give a hand. So ask for feedback, make sure that you're happy with your work, and that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video today, and if you did, give thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram. Everything is down below. If you have any questions or any suggestions, make sure that you leave in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.